The news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Let's head over into the drone newsosphere with Jeff Sills and see what's happening in the world of drones. What's going on, Jeff?
Did you say that there was a remote ID rule?
I believe I did. I did. Do you have more details?
Did I heard something about that?
Something about that. That's going around, yeah.
To go into this, Tyler Brennan is a drone user who retails FPV drone parts. He sued the FAA over the rule last year, claiming that law enforcement authorities could use remote ID as an excuse to carry out continuous surveillance of drone pilots. And the rule could also be applied in ways that would reveal the drone operator's identity and location. And to be perfectly clear, Brennan was not the only one alone in this thinking. He managed to raise over $83,000 from over 2,000 donors in the drone community to bring this challenge to the FAA. But the U.S. Court of Appeals, the District of Columbia Circuit, ruled that the limited local and real-time information sharing required by remote ID rule is not continuous surveillance. Also in the petition, Brennan claimed that the remote ID rule must be vacated due to various procedural missteps he believed the FAA made in promulgating it, but they also ruled saying that none of those asserted flaws affected the validity of the rule. So it was an attempt to challenge and to get rid of remote ID, but it did not pass.
There is so much more to this, and I'm sure that Bruce Simpson will have something to say about this. In fact, he might be saying it now. I just can't hear him.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably saying it right now. I can hear him ranting all the way from New Zealand. His cool New Zealand accent. Yeah.
Well, trust me, I will be happy to provide you with the facts that I have, but I would much rather hear his opinion later. So
yes.
All right. So next in the news, drone wars are getting to be a real big problem for prisons, especially in New Zealand. There have been 10 reporting sightings over prison sites this year alone. The Department of Corrections there is searching for ways to prevent this. They've gone out and asked for geofence sites to prevent drones from being able to fly into the prisons. They're looking at recent technology advancements to deal with, trying to prevent this. But, the problem still exists. It's a very lucrative job for people to be able to get stuff into prisons. The prisoners and stuff like that, in some cases, have access to funds that they would pay these people to do this. Now, they won't divulge which prisons the drones have been seen over, but they're going to be actively working on trying to find better ways to prevent these incidents from occurring. Now, New Zealand's not the only one that has had this problem. Of course, we've reported here in the United States that there have been several instances. And one that I wanted to bring forth to you was one of the first ones that was ever actually prosecuted back in August 26th of 2019 in Georgia. A man stopped a car 100 yards away from Telfair State Prison, and he pulled out a drone. He flew a 1.9-pound Storm Drone 4, using a very basic setup to fly 75 grams of tobacco, 4 loose rounds of ammunition, and 14 cell phones into the prison. Their plan was plotted out for over a month, and to fly the drone over the prison walls and drop the payload. They did this at night. They switched the car lights off. They tried to do everything they could to be surreptitious. But, of course, all of the actions that they did just caused them to bring more attention from the deputies at the prison. So once they were arrested, Nicholas Lowe and Sheikh Hassan Toure were the men who had been arrested. They were actually prosecuted by the federal prison system, and they had this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
So the federal prosecution for this for them was flying a non-commercial aircraft, serving or attempting to serve as an airman without the airman certificate, a violation of Title 49 of U.S. Code, which requires anyone operating unmanned aircraft for compensation or hire to hold a certificate. So they weren't Part 107.
And so because they're doing it for profit.
Yes, because there were 42 recorded phone calls from the prison where a gentleman inside was going to pay them $4,000 for the contraband and delivery.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So that is in furtherance of a business?
Yeah.
They were, George Lowe was charged with a 12-month sentence on top of previous convictions amounting to a 175-year term.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know those videos we all see of like the person hanging on some ag drone, some big, huge, right? And they can lift the person up. Hey, didn't we do a story? But instead of bringing the stuff in, bring the person out. That's what I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to give them ideas or anything, but buy a bigger drone, bring the person up over the fence, right?
Well, but they've had all sorts of problems from this because, drones have been bringing in drugs and cell phones, right? And they'll dangle the stuff underneath the drones with fishing lines, et cetera, which has hit the side of prison windows and smashed them. It's crashed into recreational areas. They've dropped wire cutters that have actually been used in prison escapes. They have sparked prison riots with the drones.
Look, I say this.
They have crash landed in an elementary school
I
roof.
say this all the time. I bet you, in each one of those instances, the dude thought they thought of that idea first.
Yeah.
Right? They're all just sitting. Here's what I imagine. They're all just sitting around in their, I don't know, let's say, decrepit, rundown trailer, maybe in Louisiana. And they're all just sitting around, all the fentanyl's gone, and they're like, you know what? We got to get this cell phone to Jake in Stir. Hey man, don't your nephew got a drone? Hey, what if we strapped it to that? Oh my God, you're a genius.
Sure.
You are a genius, man. Are you in Mensa? Oh hell.
See, they could develop an app instead of waiter. It could be prisoner.
Yeah.
Prison.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go on a completely different tangent. I think they need better pilots because these guys suck. Okay, these pilots suck. I mean, they're just bad pilots. I wouldn't trust these people to fly over.
I will tell you something.
House.
I will tell you something that was confided in me. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But someone in our community was approached by ne'er-do-wells. Not me. This isn't me. But somebody told me that they were wanting to hire them to fly. Right? If you can't do it, then hire someone who can. Right? They wanted to hire them to fly stuff into a prison, or at least consult with them.
Yes,
and they said, Ken, I'm not going to do it. But if you want the job, I got the number. No. That's bad. Don't do it. Anyway.
If you tell them
you got to give it to them for being innovative, though, right?
No, not really, because drones are pretty innocuous right now. Just what about slingshot technology? Anyway, all right, Jeff.
Well, I mean, if you had the phone number of the guy who wanted to do this, the first thing I would have done was go to the closest police department in that area that actually has drone pilots and tell them, hey, have we got a deal for you?
You know what? Look, and I'll say this one last thing and then we'll be done. We'll move on. What about good old-fashioned keystering? Don't Google it. All right, Jeff, back to you.
Really? That's the way you... Man.
Don't Google it.
You did me like that. That's just not right. Okay. So I do not have a reason why this next video exists. I do not have any context for you whatsoever, other than it was great that News 14 sent us this footage of a camper in the Ohio River.
Oh, such sadness. I think they just wanted to let you know that there was a poor little camper out there in the middle of the Ohio River. Doesn't it look so sad and lonely all by itself?
Poor old camper, bless his heart.
And then someone said, hey, we need to get some drone footage of this thing. You know, someone called that home. Quite possibly those meth heads that thought of sending a drone over a prison wall.
That's Mama's houseboat.
Yeah. All our Oxycontin's in the Ohio River now. Smart.
But it melted.
I digress. I told you it's going to be weird when I'm like very Ken-gested.
Yeah, he's congested. All right. All right. So the next in the news I have is from Israel, and they, of course, are very prolific with their drones, and they are one-upping by improving the ability for their users to interface with the drones. So they have a system called Casper, which is a hybrid operating system that will allow troops to talk using voice commands to drones.
Oh.
So instead of having to have a pilot there that is controlling the drone with the remote and be efficient with that, they're going to have voice commands that they could tell the drone what they want it to do, and then the automation will kick in, and the drone will perform that action.
Okay, I see so many problems with this.
Me too.
Because
what if you got a bad accent like me?
Well, you could have an accent, or you could give it the wrong command, because these are weaponized drones, right? This isn't like GoPro, take a picture.
Oh no, these would be surveillance drones. They're not weaponized drones.
Oh, okay. Because some jokes are, could be like, return to home.
Yeah.
All right.
There, take a picture and come on back.
Voice recognition. Okay.
But that's basically what it is right there, is the way you described it, is for them to tell the drone where to go, take a photograph or circle the area and provide them, a video of where they're at and then come back.
Aren't they just, at this point, is that necessary? Aren't they just peacocking at this point? Google it.
Yeah. Israel never ceases to surprise me with some of the stuff they come up with. I'm looking forward to finding out more about Casper. So hopefully we'll have some more news about that one in the future.
Okay.
All right. Next in the news, drone delivery services apparently seem to be competing with each other now.
Are they competing with each other?
Well, let's see.
Fantastic.
The future has landed in Tom Coolis's Frisco, Texas driveway. He's among the very first in the Lone Star State to get a delivery from a drone.
You ordered ice cream, and if you had done that through like a DoorDash or an Uber Eats or any of the food delivery services, that would have taken 20, 30 minutes.
Easily.
It was here in 5.
That's absolutely right.
That's a lot faster.
Totally faster. And better quality product. It's not melted.
Wing, owned by Google's parent company Alphabet, just launched in suburban Dallas. And there's already competition. About 90 minutes away, Flytrex is focusing on Granbury, with drones dropping off coffee in Matt Barthelow's backyard.
See if it's still warm. Oh, it's hot.
It's hot?
It's hot, yeah.
For now, drone delivery is free. Users order from an app, a worker gets the item, loads and launches the drone, which is monitored by an FAA-certified operator.
This gives people quicker access to goods in a highly efficient manner.
Jonathan Bass from Wing.
Healthcare items, medications, food. We've delivered, COVID tests.
Wing's drones are designed and built in the U.S. They can carry about 3 pounds. A company study estimates in the Dallas area alone, drones could deliver about 2% of all purchased items, around $200 million in sales, saving people 39 hours of errand running a year.
We're expecting to take some of these packages that would have been delivered by, a 12,000-pound truck and instead deliver it with a 10-pound aircraft. And the huge advantage there that we see is a large reduction in carbon emissions, as well as an increase in safety.
By year's end, Walmart plans to add drone delivery in 6 states, and Amazon aims to launch its own drone fleet starting in California. Tom Coolis hopes it really takes off.
I'm being told by my producer that doesn't exist. Things are looking up for the drone delivery industry. God, local news. Oh, and like the way that dude slipped in safer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and of course they did reinforce the idea that these were FAA certified pilots that were flying the drones. So
right, and that's cost effective. Who wouldn't want to pay $47 for a pint of ice cream, other than that dude who clearly eats ice cream in the video? I'm just saying, why couldn't the thin guy get the ice cream and the heavy guy get coffee? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right, so next in the news, Eastern Kentucky has seen some incredible, deadly flooding, And we have this footage that was recently shared, giving you guys an idea of some of the devastation in the areas that were impacted.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is eastern Kentucky. Terrible.
Yeah, that's bad.
Terrible flooding. Nothing but bad news. Poor
Yeah.
Kentucky's been through the ringer with tornadoes in western Kentucky, and now this.
Yeah, Governor Andy Beshear said that 16 people have perished because of this storm or this flooding, and that as they clear these areas out and start cleaning this stuff up, that number may rise. So, which is a shame. It really is.
Very sad.
All right. So next in the news, Zipline was recently awarded a carrier certificate from the FAA that authorizes the company to complete long-range, on-demand drone deliveries in the U.S. And this has been something that we've covered in the past. But now they're going to actually be doing drone deliveries for medical supplies in the healthcare system in Washington State. So the first commercial drone deliveries for Zipline and the Multi-Care Health System partner will start this year in Washington State. And Zipline is probably one of the most, aged systems. They have been around for a long time. They started in Africa, and they made immense advancements in what they were able to do and impress so many people that Zipline's in multiple countries now.
That's legit. That's legit. Again, my stance is, blood samples, medication, defibrillators, hospital to hospital, remote place to remote place. Yes, drone deliveries. Yes, but fat guy getting his ice cream dropped to him on his lawn. Nope. It won't happen, even if it does happen for a week. Because you had to hire some. I won't go into it. It's too costly. It's too costly. All right. As soon as all the lawyers die, then we'll have drone delivery.
So good luck with that.
All right. So next in the news, we have a story that comes to us recently of a 14-year-old who was saved by a drone.
Oh, good news. Awesome.
When we arrived, what we saw was a kid that was in a very bad condition, with almost no energy to keep floating. So I sent over the life vest. Because of the heavy waves, it was hard to reach him, but we finally managed to give him the vest, and he could float while lifeguards reached him with the jet ski. What we do with the drone is to arrive valuable seconds before the lifeguards do, helping the person drowning to float while the help is coming. These are vital seconds on some occasions. This extra time also allows lifeguards to reach the person more carefully, not risking in a rush.
That is awesome. I love to hear stuff like that. Now, if you're delivering rescue equipment, yes.
Hell yeah.
Tube socks? Nope. That's great. Yeah.
Okay. So USPA is a nationwide security firm, and they have announced plans to utilize drones to protect client properties such as cruise ships, stadiums, airports, and railway lines. But what's interesting in the fact is that they are a nationwide service. So they are going to be implementing this drone security across the entire United States. And they are signing contracts to generate protection in protected areas, response times of 90 seconds to anywhere on a 10-acre property. And it's going to use predetermined flights. They're offering video surveillance, anonymously chosen flight paths that are created by AI that will detect obstacles and do sweeps and allow the system to basically be unmanned. And this is to, improve to mitigate the cost of needing patrol vehicles at a lot of these locations, manned guard stations, and other personnel to pilot the drones where protection is needed and to cover large areas. So that's something I'm looking forward to hearing more about as they roll this out. The first deployments for the system are going to be in September, and it's basically remote autonomous security.
Hey,
That's a good idea.
damn good idea.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so this one I have been waiting for ever since it popped up back on July 29th. I just have to share this with you guys because I love the fact that all of you love FPV, and we've done our Ukraine videos, but the Ukraine videos normally are the Mavics and things like that. Very slow moving drones, and they're seeing other things happen. This one's a little bit different because Ukrainian forces decided that they wanted to use an FPV drone to strike a Russian position. The Russians had created a hideout of sorts, and I'll just let you watch.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome.
Четверта хата, сині двері. Бачиш сині двері? Да. Є!
Poof.
They flew it in the door.
Yeah.
Now,
Listen,
So-
listen, hold on, listen to this.
Взірвався? Та йобнуло нахуй, тут день, блядь. А, їх вже нема синіх, блядь. А вони вилетіли? А, воно вибігає. Біга, хуєвший, сука. Very cool. Welcome to Ukraine.
Welcome to
welcome
Ukraine.
to Ukraine.
So that was a Russian hideout.
That came through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, the Russians had been using the building as a hideout, and the areas, the troops in the area had been able to see them, and so they mounted a explosive on an FPV drone and flew it in the door.
Yeah.
It's just amazing video.
That's great.
Creative.
Yep. Yep. Good for them.
All right, and last in the news, to immortalize Belfast's crazy people, we have garbage can racing.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure exactly what fresh hell this is that we're about to see here. Jeff, any more details, buddy?
Yeah, so the contest is part of West Belfast's Fili and Fobale. It's an annual arts and cultural festival established in 1988. And one of the events is this wheelie bin race.
The wheelie bin.
Yes. And so contestants drag out their garbage cans behind them while friends and family members and neighbors pelt them with water, flour, and any other non-injurious substance that came to hand.
Oh, my God.
And they've been doing this annually, apparently, ever since. And so, yeah, this is... And I probably mispronounced the name of this festival, so I apologize to anybody from Belfast. But the video footage is just fabulous.
Yeah.
It looks like so much fun.
It looks like fun if you're not carrying a wheelie bin.
Yeah, I want to be the guy that just nails them with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to grab a wheelie bin and run for it. That's me. I want to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, they get very creative. You got to give it to them.
Hold on. Hold on. It wasn't over yet. Look, they're just.
Oh.
Look at this dude, the winner. He's like, I won, man. Cool it.
Drop your dang
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Start carrying this thing.
All right, Jeff. Well, thank you very much for the news, man.
You are most welcome, sir.
All right. We'll see you later.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
We should probably mention RemotePilot101.com. Isn't it a great place?
Great place.
It is a great place. Tell us about your place, Jason.
So, Remote Pilot 101, no one has prepared more Part 107 pilots than us. And you'll be pleased, those of you who are current customers now, you're going to be experiencing version 3 and a brand new learning management system in about 2 weeks. So the best just keeps on getting better. Remote Pilot 101. heron18.com. Use promo code Heron18, which, by the way, Ken,
yeah,
I can't brag on you enough. When we search promo codes, you know me, I'm all about our marketing and everything else. Heron18 is the most used promo code. Your people listen to you, Ken.
Yay! Thank you, people. I appreciate that. And you've been very busy updating the lessons too, because
there's not every video has gotten a facelift. There's 76 videos in there. Every single one has gotten a facelift. The course has gone from 9 hours to almost 12 hours now. There's just so much new content. We're always trying to innovate, push new content. Now with all the recurrent tests changing so much, we're like, wow, we just launched our new course. We need to fix it now. So we're back to that. I was just reviewing some of the stuff our writers sent over earlier for some of the content, and there's some more great stuff coming out here soon as well.
And you take actual questions that test takers give you and kind of incorporate those in the quizzes too, right? So they're actual FAA questions.
We have a ton of data on that, no doubt. So yeah, and I always share, you know this, Ken, I call them the boot camps at the end, where I share, this is a question you're going to see on your knowledge test. Let's not memorize it. Let's understand the why behind it. But just to prepare them for the knowledge test. You know this though, Ken, I want you to be safe in the real world. My mission isn't just to pass a test. I want you safe when you're out there flying FPV, whatever it is, so you can be a light and be a mentor to everybody else that's out there wondering about what this new drone space is. Even though it's not that new, but to many it is so new. We have to be ambassadors to that.
You're a shining star, Jason. A shining star. Awesome.